Hey everyone, Keith here from the Solo Gamers Club, and welcome to another exciting installment of my Autumn 2024 Horror Month. Tonight, join me as Big Ed, Pam, Sally, and Kirk try to escape the terrifying clutches of the cannibalistic Slaughter family in our playthrough of Texas Chainsaw Massacre by Trick or Treat Studios. For this playthrough, I'm cranking up the intensity with Slaughter mode. With this rule, whenever we draw a Leatherface token, we must pull at least one additional token from the hideous draw bag before we can stop drawing for the turn. The game is set, but before we dive in, let's meet our characters and explore their special abilities and personal objectives. First up, we've got Big Ed. His special move is he can spend an action to move the truck one space. His objective is what happened was true. Reach the abandoned cars with one other character. Next, we have Pam. Her special move is when revealing a token, she can look at it and swap it with another token on the board, placing the unrevealed token into the bag. Personal objective is who wants barbecue? Get to the diner with one other character. Then we have Sally. Her special move is when she performs a push action on a player, she can move them 2 spaces. Her personal objective is the old house. Collect the token from the stairs inside the Slaughter family home. And finally, we have Kirk. His special move is when he performs a push action on a Slaughter family member, he can move them 2 spaces. His personal objective is make out point. Reach the dry lake with one other character. To win the game, we'll need to find 3 cans of gas, the keys. We'll have to complete each character's personal objective and return to the van. So we'll get started with our first player, and that's going to be Big Ed. All right, we're going to begin with Big Ed, and Big Ed needs to get to the abandoned cars. Pam needs to get to the diner. So I'm going to try to move those 2 characters more in a northwesterly direction. And Sally and Kirk need to get into the stairs in the house and the dry lake. So we'll kind of move them in a northeasterly more direction. But I'm going to try to keep these characters separate. I don't want them on the same spaces in case Leatherface happens to attack. So we'll begin with Big Ed. He gets his 2 free move actions. So we'll move him 1 and 2 into the brambles, revealing this token. And he gets a Leatherface. Okay, so that goes in the barbecue tray. Now, Big Ed gets to make his draws. Now, at the starting bag, we've only got a 22% chance of drawing an action token. So we'll probably try to soft pedal these first few moves and see what happens. Okay, here's our first draw for Big Ed. He does have an action token. All right, so there's only 1 in 8 left in the bag, so I'm going to stop there. Big Ed is going to move 1 additional space into the other brambles, revealing that token. And that is an action token. That is great. Those will go into the tray. We're going to end Big Ed's move there. He is ending in a bramble, so he will take a blood splatter on his card. And that's going to bring his round to a close. We'll put those tokens from the barbecue tray into the bag. And now we'll move on to Pam. And I think Pam is going to take a different route, and I'll have her move 1 and 2 into those brambles, and we'll reveal the token. Now, she has a special ability that allows her to reveal a token, and then she can look at it and swap it with another token on the board without looking at it. And the new token goes into the bag. So we'll see what she's got. She has the keys. That is amazing. All right, so Pam found the keys. That is unbelievable. And now she's going to make her draws. Okay, here's her first draw, and that is bones. And I'd like to get her one more action if we can. Let's see if we can do it. Bones. Okay, we'll try one more. And this one is Leatherface. Okay, Leatherface is going to move. So that means he's going to move to the closest character. He's going to bust through the door and move into the dining room. And the door is now broken open. All right. And since she drew a Leatherface, that means we have to draw another one. So here's her next draw. And that is an action token. We're going to stop there. So Pam is going to take that action token, moving into the brambles here and revealing the token. And this one is a slaughter family. Now we don't necessarily want that. So what I'm going to do is swap that with a token from somewhere on the board that we might not have to go to. We'll swap it with this one, leaving that face up, and then this one goes into the bag, whatever it is. All right. And that's going to bring her turn to a close. These tokens will go into the bag, and now it is going to be Sally's turn. All right, Sally is going to take her 2 free move actions. She's going to move 1, 2 into the brambles, and then she's going to start drawing. Let's see what she gets. Sally's first draw is an action token. That is great. I think we're going to soft pedal that. I'm going to leave it at 1. We'll use that to move Sally into the same space with Pam. And she's also going to gain a wound from the brambles. So she has a wound as well. And I think that's going to bring her turn to a close. That token will go into the bag. And now we will move on to Kirk. All right. He is going to start his move action, and I think he'll move 1, 2 into the brambles, and he'll start his move action, or his draws rather. Here's the first one. That's an action. Okay. Well, let's see here. Yeah, I think we will soft pedal this until we can get some more tokens into the bag that are beneficial. So we're going to have him use that, moving 1 space into the brambles. He'll take a blood splatter, so everybody's got one. And that's going to bring the round to a close, and we'll move back now to Big Ed. All right, Big Ed has his 2 free move actions, and I think we have to try to get him out of these brambles. Well, I think we will do it this way. We'll move him 1 into those brambles, revealing the token. And that is a Leatherface that goes in the tray. He'll take another move action into this space, and he gets pictures. Okay, that goes into the tray as well. And now he's going to make his draws. And if we could get 2 actions, we'd be able to move out of there and into kind of a safer area out of those brambles. So we'll see what we get. Here's his first draw. He gets an action. Okay. Let's try another one. He gets bones. Try another one. Bones. All right, let's try one more. And he gets Leatherface. So Leatherface now is going to bust through the window and out into the front yard. So the window is broken now. And we must draw another token. Okay, so old Leatherface is moving around. Here's the next draw. And it's Leatherface that is bad. So Leatherface is going to move towards the nearest character. And we have to draw one more. And if we get a Leatherface, that's going to move on to the Slaughter family board, enhancing Leatherface's abilities. Here's the draw. And that's Bones. So that will end the draw phase. He has one action. And I don't want to take it because if I move on to the brambles, he'll take another wound. So we'll just leave him where he is. These tokens will go into the barbecue tray. And then all of those will move into the hideous bag. And we'll move on now to Pam. All right, Pam is up next, and we want to avoid Leatherface, so I think she's going to take a northeasterly type of route. So she'll take her 2 free move actions. One here, we'll examine the token, and that's the Slaughter family. We're going to, I think, exchange that with another token. We'll put that one up here by the abandoned cars, and then this one goes in the bag. We don't know what it is. That's her first one. Second move will be here next near the graveyard, and that one is a action token. We'll keep that. That goes in the tray. Now she's going to make her draws. Okay, here's her first draw, and she gets bones. Okay, here's the next draw. Oh no, Leatherface. Okay, the closest is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 to Big Ed, 1, 2, 3, 4 to the Kirk and Sally. So he'll definitely move here. And then Pam has to draw another token now. Okay, here we go. It's bones. I think we'll try another draw. And it's Leatherface. Oh no. Okay, Leatherface is going to move into the brambles. And then we have to draw one more. And it's pictures. Okay, pictures. When drawn, look at the top card of the search deck. Okay, let's do that. Okay, the top card of the search deck is Where Did They Go? When this card is drawn, if you have the keys, you must return it to the bag. Return this card to the search deck. We have the option now of placing this on top or on bottom. We're going to put it on the bottom, obviously, and then every time you look at a card or play a search card, the truck moves. So the truck is going to move 1 space down the highway. And I think we're going to end up ending Pam's draw phase right there. So we'll move the truck down 1 space, and I think we'll end that for Pam. She doesn't have any additional actions, but I don't want to risk another Leatherface. So these tokens will go into the barbecue tray and into the bag. And we'll end her turn. We'll move on now to Sally. All right, I think Sally is going to follow Pam. She'll move 1 and 2 into Pam's space, and then we'll start our draws and see what happens. Here's Sally's first draw, and she gets bones. Okay, well, yeah, I'm risking it because Big Ed is within range of Leatherface. Because if we draw one, we would have to draw another, and that could potentially be enough to get him, or technically Kirk. So I think we'll just stop there. And that token will go into the bag, and we'll move on now to Kirk. Now Kirk has a special ability where he can push a Slaughter family member 2 spaces instead of 1. So that's kind of an interesting possibility, but a little risky. Yeah, I might try something like that. I think I will. I'm going to move Kirk here, and then we'll reveal that token. That is a bones. That'll go into the tray. And now Kirk can begin his draws. And if we can get a push, we'd be able to push Leatherface back towards the house maybe. So let's try that. Let's see if we can get it. Here's his first draw. And it is in action. So I think we're going to stop there, and I'm going to use that as a special move. When Kirk does a push against the Slaughter family member, they move 2. So we will move Leatherface 2 spaces back towards the house, and that was kind of a good tactic. That seemed to work. Okay, that's going to end Kirk's turn, and we will put those tokens into the bin and then into the bag. Okay, Big Ed is up next, and we'll take his free moves. He's going to move into the brambles, revealing that token. That is a gas can. That is amazing. So we've got one of the 3 gas cans we need. That is great. His second move will be up here, revealing that token. And that is Slaughter family. Not good. That goes in the barbecue tray. Okay, Big Ed is going to take his moves now. Everybody has 1 wound. Here's his first draw, And he gets an action token. That's great. And I think we're going to stop there. And I'm going to move him to this location, revealing the token. And that is bone, so that's not too bad. Those tokens will go into the barbecue tray, back in the bag. And that'll end Big Ed's turn. We'll move on to Pam now. Okay, Pam's got 2 free move actions. So she's going to move into the graveyard, revealing the token. And that's an action token. We'll keep that. That goes into the barbecue tray. Her second move will be here, revealing that token. And that is an action token. That is outstanding. She's going to end her turn movements there, and then she'll start drawing her tokens. See what she gets. First draw is an action token. That is great. Now we're trying to get Pam into the diner. So right now, Leatherface is kind of blocking her. So, I think we're going to stop there, and I'll have Pam use that as a move action to move here, and then she can decide on what to do with this token. That's an action token. We'll keep that. That is great. We'll end Pam's turn there, and we're adding 3 action tokens into the bag now. That is fantastic. We'll move on now to Sally. Sally is trying to get into the house at the stairs to perform her objective. So I think she's going to move 1 here, revealing the token. And that is a slaughter family. Her second move will be here, revealing that token. And that is an eye. Okay. Now she can take her draws. And we'll see what we get. Her special move is to push action on a player. Can move them 2 spaces. Okay, here's her first draw. And that's a slaughter family. Okay, that's going to go on the board, on the slaughter family board. So we got to place that on the slaughter family board, starting with Grandpa, and we place that inverted because that will chart how many of those we've placed during Sally's turn. 1 more and Grandpa's going to come out into the dining room. He can't move, but a player who enters the dining room will take 2 blood splatter markers from him. So now there's quite a few action tokens in here now from my count, so I think we're going to try to keep drawing here and see what happens. Here's our next draw. That is an action token. Okay, so I think we're going to stop there, and she'll take her action as a move, moving into the generator area and revealing another action token. That is awesome. Those tokens will go into the tray and then into the bag, and then we will move on now to Kirk. Kirk is up next. All right, those tactics with Kirk were pretty good about pushing Leatherface, so I think we're going to continue with that. He'll take his first 2 action moves, moving into that space and revealing an action token. That is great. Now he's going to make his draws. Now if Leatherface activates, obviously he's going to go after Kirk, and then Kirk would get a flea. So here's the first draw. And it's a slaughter family token. Okay. All right, the slaughter family token goes on the board inverted, and that's going to bring old Grandpa into the game. So Grandpa is going to appear in the dining room. So we'll place Grandpa in the dining room. Now he can't move, but he can be pushed, just like any other slaughter family member. So if we want to get into the dining room, we could try to push him. Okay, now we have to decide if Kirk is going to continue drawing or not. Yeah, I think we'll risk it. We'll take another draw from Kirk. There seems to be a lot of action tokens in the bag, so let's see what we get. And it is an action token, and we're going to stop there, and we're going to push, using Kirk's special ability, we're going to push Leatherface 2 spaces. And let's see where we want to push him. 1 and 2 into the dining room with Grandpa. We'll do that. I think we'll end his turn there. And we'll place those tokens from the barbecue tray into the bag. And now it is Big Ed's turn. Okay, Big Ed is going to try his free move actions. He'll move into the diner, revealing that token. which is an action token. That is awesome. His next one will be to move in front of the diner by the gas pumps, and he'll reveal another action token. This is awesome. Absolutely great. Okay, Big Ed needs to get to the abandoned cars, but with another player. So we'll have him draw, and he gets bones. Okay, we'll try another draw. Bones. And we'll try another one. It's an action token. Okay. Well, I'm going to have him move here. We'll end his draws. We'll have him move here and reveal Slaughter Family token. Okay, so all these tokens are going to go into the barbecue tray, into the hideous bag, and now Pam is up. Okay, Pam needs to try to get to the diner with someone else, so I think we'll try to move her around there. And I think she'll move 1 to the generator and 2 to the window, and we'll reveal that token. Let's see what Pam wants to do with it. It's a gasoline. That is awesome. Now she has the gasoline and the keys. That is great. And we're going to have Pam start drawing now, I think. Yeah. Here's her first draw. It's an action token. That is great. Let's try another one. Bones. We'll try one more. She's got a second action token. That is awesome. And I'm going to have her use those for movement. And she's going to check out these tokens north of her. One here to reveal that. That is bones. That's okay. We'll keep that. Next one, we'll be moving up towards the dry lake. And that one is an action token. We'll keep that one too. So all of these tokens will be discarded and back in the bag. And that'll end Pam's activation. Pam is a great character for exploring because it gives us that option of her special move where she can reveal the token and then swap it with another if we don't like it. So that's pretty handy. Okay, we'll move on to Sally. Okay, Sally's got 2 free moves, and we'll try to get her into the house. She'll move 1 and then 2 on top of the window. We have the option of breaking the window and going right into Grandma's room, but you take a wound for that, so we'll play this slow. And Sally has moved onto the window. She's trying to carefully open the window to get in instead of breaking it. We'll start her draws, and she begins with Leatherface. Okay, Leatherface is going to move towards the nearest character. 1, 2, 3. It's going to be Kirk. So he will move out back through the window to that location. And now Sally has to draw another token because it's Leatherface. She's got bones. Okay. I think we're going to stop there and we'll let Kirk try to use his special actions. So these tokens will be put into the barbecue tray and then everything goes into the bag. And now it is Kirk's turn. Kirk has to try to get to the dry lake. So I think what he's going to do is, yeah, I'll have him move here, exploring that token. That is an action token. That is awesome. And I think we're going to have him stay there. I don't know, maybe not. No, I'll take the move action. I'll take his second move action here to explore that. That's a bones, that's okay. And now he'll take his draws. Okay, here's his first draw. And that is an action. And I think we will stop there. I'll use that to have him move. Checking out the token, and that is Leatherface. Okay, so we don't have to activate that because that's only when you take it out of the bag. So that goes into the tray. Tokens go into the bag, and Big Ed is up next, and he's trying to get to the abandoned cars. Okay, Big Ed has 2 free move actions. He's going to move here, revealing the token. That is the Slaughter Family. His next one will be to go into the abandoned cars area, revealing another Slaughter Family token. Okay, he's at the abandoned cars, but he needs another person there to be able to solve his objective. So that's where he is right now. And then we'll have him make some draws. His first one is bones. We'll have him draw again. If I can get an action, then I can use that to draw a search card because we're at a named location. And we've got it. So that's what I'm going to do. Big Ed is going to stop there, and he's going to use that action as a search action at the abandoned cars. And he draws the card Flashlight. When drawing a token, discard this card to draw 2 tokens, select one and place the other back in the bag. Okay, and then we're going to move the truck. So Big Ed will keep that card, the truck will move down the road, and that's going to bring his turn to a close. These tokens will go in the bag, and we'll now move on to Pam. All right, I'm going to try to get Pam over to the abandoned cars, and then that would fulfill Big Ed's objectives. So Pam is going to move 1 here. Take a look at that token. That's a Leatherface, so we have the option of replacing that with another thing on the board. I think we'll do that. I'll have this face up, and we'll replace it with this one at the front of the board here near the brambles, and then that new token goes in the bag. Her second move action will go to where the Slaughter family token is located. Now, in order to pick up a face-up token, you have to do a pickup action, and obviously we don't want to pick those tokens up, so that'll be the end of her move. She'll start drawing now. And if we can get her a couple of actions, we could get her to the abandoned car, and then that would fulfill Big Ed's objectives. Here's the first draw, and that is an action. That's great. We'll try another one. That's her second action. That is amazing. We'll have her use those to move to Big Ed's location. 1 and 2, and that's going to fulfill Big Ed's what happened was true. Get to the abandoned car with 1 other character. So we'll turn that over to let him know that that's been solved. And now that is going to bring her actions to a close. We'll move on to Sally. Right now we've got the keys and 2 cans of gas. We need 1 more gas can. All right, now Sally's trying to get to the stairs. So she's going to move 1 space into Grandma's room, revealing bones. It goes into the barbecue tray, and her second move onto the stairs, revealing pictures. Okay, those go into the barbecue tray. Now she can take her actions. All right, and we'll start with a draw for her. Her first one is an action. That is great. I think we'll just stop there. I'll use that action to move her back into Grandma's room, and then maybe out the door or out the window, and that will be it. So we'll end her there, and we'll move on now to Kirk. He's trying to get to the dry lake. Okay, Kirk's going to take his 2 free moves to the generator, and then he's going to draw. Now, since it's a named space, we could try to get a search card maybe. Here's his first draw. That's a Slaughter family. That's not good. All right. Okay, that Slaughter family token's going to go on the cook. And when he comes out, he goes to the diner. And then what happens, every time a Slaughter family token is drawn from the bag, he moves clockwise from the diner to each of the named spaces, forming like a clockwise pattern. And if he lands on a space with you, you have to go to the dining room, and that's where Grandpa is. Okay, I think Kirk's going to continue with some draws. Here's his next draw, and that is Leatherface. So Leatherface is going to move to the closest characters, and that's going to be Pam and Big Ed. Okay, he's going to move there, and now we have to make another draw because that's a Leatherface token, and it's bones. Okay, I think we'll continue to draw. And we get Leatherface. Oh no. Okay, Leatherface is going to move towards Big Ed and Pam, and he's within 1 space of them. That's not good. We have to make another draw now. and we get bones. And I think we are going to stop there, and that will be it for Kirk. We'll put these tokens into the tray, and that's it for Kirk. All right, Big Ed is up next. Now he has a flashlight. It says when drawing a token, discard a card to draw 2 tokens. So he might use that this turn. We're going to get Big Ed to the diner because that's where Pam is going to be going. So we'll have him move 1 and 2 to the diner, and then he's going to start his draws. And I think we will have him use the flashlight, and that'll allow him to draw 2 tokens, and then we can select 1 and place the other back in the bag. So we'll draw 2 tokens. Here's the first one. That's a Leatherface. Second one is a Slaughter family token. Well, I think we'll take the Slaughter family token because otherwise he's going to hit Pam. So this token will go back in the bag. The flashlight is consumed. I believe, no, it doesn't say that. It doesn't say discard. When drawing a token, discard, discard. Okay, so that is discarded. Now the Slaughter family token has to be placed on the board with the cook. So we'll place that on the board, inverted on the cook, 1 more, and he's going to come out. So I think we're going to end it there. Big Ed's turn is going to be done, and then we'll move on now to Pam. Yeah, the secret of this game is just risk and reward analysis. That's what we are looking at with this game. And that draw mechanism is very exciting, I have to say, because you never know what you're going to get. Okay, Pam is going to take her 2 moves, and she moves into the space with Big Ed, and that's going to complete her objective, which is, who wants barbecue? Get to the diner with 1 other character, and that completes it. So we'll flip that over to the other side, completing that objective for Pam. That is great. Okay, now this is dangerous because if the cook comes out, he is going to go into the diner, and then we are going to be sent to the dining room with Grandpa, and then everybody's going to take 2 wounds. That is not good. So let's see what Pam draws here. She has an action token, and I think we're going to stop there. And I want to split those characters up a little bit, so I'm going to have Pam use that as a move, and we'll have her move here. It's within 2 of Leatherface, but I think we'll do that. I don't want to draw any more, so that will end Pam's turn. We're still looking for a can of gas before we can try to escape, and then we got to get... Well, Sally completed hers. She got that token from the stairs. I forgot about that. So all we're looking for now is to complete Kirk's objective, make out point at the dry lake. So, all right, Pam's turn is done. We'll move on now to Sally. Okay, Sally's going to take her 2 moves, and she's going to move 1 onto the window, opening it, and 2 out into the yard. Now she'll make her draws. Okay, here's her first draw, and that's bones. We'll try another one. Well, maybe not. Yeah, because Pam is within kind of a deadly range there, so I think I'll stop there. That'll be it for Sally, and then we will move on now to Kirk. See, once you take 3 blood splatters on your card, you don't get those free move actions at the start of the turn, and that becomes, in this game with Slaughter mode, it's a deadly thing to happen, so we don't want that to happen. Okay, Kirk is up next. He'll take his 2 free moves, moving towards the dry lake. 1, whoops, and 2. Knocked over Sally. Look out, Sally. Okay, so he's there, and then he'll make his draws. Part of this too is what kind of tokens you get in the bag early. If you get a lot of action tokens, it really helps you. If you get a lot of Leatherface, well, it's not quite as good. Okay, here is the first draw for Kirk. He's got bones. Okay, I think we'll just end it there. There's no sense pressing it. We're doing pretty well. So we're going to end Kirk's turn, and we'll move back to Big Ed. Okay. Okay, Big Ed has a gas can, and he's going to move. And we'll have him move 1 and 2 to that space. And then he'll start his draws. Here's his first draw, and that is an action. Okay, I think we'll risk it. I'll have him draw again. That's an eye. Okay, now what that does is, when drawn, flip over one face down token on the board. If we get 3 of those, our turn would end. So, well, let's see here. We could use that to investigate one of the tokens maybe in the house, because that could be where the gas is. Yeah, I think we'll turn over the one in the hall. And that's a slaughter family token, so that doesn't help us. Okay. And now I got to decide if I want to take another action or another draw for Big Ed. Yeah, I don't think it would serve any purpose at this point, so we'll just leave it with the one action we have. And I can either stay where I am, I could push Pam. That won't help at this point. We can move the truck. That is one of his actions. I think I'll do that. I'll use that action to move the truck. That's his special action. Spend an action to move the truck. So that'll move it down the street a little bit, making sure we got a little room here for getting through. So we'll try that. That'll bring his turn to a close. We'll move on to Pam. Okay, Pam is up, and I guess what we'll do there is we'll have her take her 2 move actions into the brambles, and she'll start her draws. Here is the first draw. She gets bones. We'll try another one. I'd like to get off those brambles if we can. And that's Leatherface. Not good. Okay, Leatherface will move to the nearest character, and that's going to be Big Ed. So he's going to move towards him, and he's still 2 spaces away. Okay, we have to draw now. And we get another Leatherface. That puts him within 1 of Big Ed. And we have to draw again. Okay, here is the action. And it's Leatherface, unfortunately. So what happens is this token gets placed onto Leatherface, and that increases his abilities. It doesn't change with the first token. He's still got 1 move and 1 damage, but he is going to move and attack Big Ed. That'll do 1 damage to Big Ed. It gives him 2 blood splatters. Now Big Ed has to flee, so he can flee up to 2 spaces. And we'll have him flee 1 and 2 to that location. That's going to end our turn, but once again, that Leatherface token goes on his board now. So we place that token on Leatherface, and now his ability is, it's still 1 move and 1 damage, but this token, the Enraged token, will come on to Leatherface's display when we find that last gas can. Once we have all of our required components, then he gets Enraged, so that's going to move him up to 3 move with 1 damage. Not good. Okay, next we will move on to Sally, and Sally will take 2 moves, 1 and 2, and then she is going to start her draws. And we want to get to the dry lake to get Kirk there and get the last of our objectives. Here's the first draw for Sally. She's got bones. And I think we're going to stop there because Leatherface is within 1 of Pam. So we'll just stop there, and then we'll move on now to Kirk. And he's going to take his 2 moves, moving to the dry lake. It'll be 1, 2. And we'll reveal the dry lake token, which is an action token. That's great. Kirk has to draw at least 1. So he'll draw. Let's see what we get. And it's bones. Okay, we're going to stop there. I'm going to play this more slowly. We got time. So that will be it for Kirk. And we'll move back now to Big Ed. And Big Ed has gas. So we're going to try to get him to the van, I think. I hit my record button, but it did not record. But what happened was Big Ed got back to the van, he drew a token, and it was bones. So he stopped there. So we'll move on now to Pam. Okay, Pam is up next. She's going to take her 2 moves, and she'll move 1 and 2 into the street. And then she'll make her moves. Now, Pam should have gotten another... She was in the bramble, so that would be her 2nd wound. And we'll mark her with 2 now. I forgot about that. Now she'll take her first draw. And she gets pictures. Okay. When drawn, take a top card of the search deck and we can place it top or bottom. Okay, this card is False Alarm. If you draw a Slaughter family token, excluding Leatherface, you may return it to the bag instead of placing it on the family board. We'll keep that, and that's going to move the truck one space. We'll put that on the top of the deck then. All right, I think we're going to end Pam's turn there. Okay, next up is Sally. She is going to move into the space with Kirk, and that is going to complete his objective, which is make out point. Get to Dry Lake with another character. Okay, so him and Sally are at the Dry Lake. That completes his adventure. And Sally has one move left, and we're going to start moving her. I think we got to find that gas can, though, and I don't know where that is. I'll have her move around maybe the front of the building and try to get those. So she'll move back one. And then we want to get out of that Dry Lake space in case the cook comes on board. So we'll make a draw here. And she gets Leatherface. So Leatherface is going to go after Pam. That's the closest character. Leatherface will move into the brambles, going after Pam. Okay, this is our next draw for Sally. She has to draw because that's a Leatherface. And this one is Bones. Okay. Yeah, I think we'll stop there. So I'll stop it there. That'll end Sally's turn, and we'll move on now to Kirk. Kirk gets two moves, and I'll have him move around the front of the building as well. 1, 2, and he'll make his draws now. His first one is Bones. Okay, we're going to stop there. We will stop with there, and then we'll put Big Ed back. He will be the next player. We're still looking for another gas can. All right, Big Ed is going to remain at the van since he has the gasoline there, and we'll make a draw for him. And he gets Bones. Okay, we're going to stop there, and that will be the end of the turn for Big Ed, and we'll move on to Pam. All right, Pam is going to move on to the van. She has the keys and the gas, and she'll make her first draw, and we'll see what happens. And she gets an action. Okay. Well, I think we're just going to let her stay where she is, and we'll end her turn, and we'll move on now to Sally. Okay, we're going to get Sally to maybe go around the front of the house and check out maybe those couple that are in front of the house. If we have to, we'll have to go in the house, but I don't want to. So she'll move 2. 1, 2, and then she will make her draws. Right now, Big Ed has 2 wounds, Pam has 2, Sally 1, Kirk 1. Here's the draw for Sally. And she gets Bones, and I guess we'll try another one. Bones. Let's try one more. And she's got an action, so okay, well, I'll tell you, it wouldn't be bad to get her to the generator and perform a action to search. So let's try one more. Maybe we'll get lucky. And it's Leatherface. Okay, he's going to pursue them at the van. So Leatherface is going to move 1 closer towards the van. So we'll move Leatherface towards the van. If he goes out on the highway, we can run him over with that truck. That is a possibility. Okay, Pam has to make a draw because that was a Leatherface token, and she gets an action. That's good. We're going to stop right there. She's going to use 1 action to move to the generator and another action to make a draw, and she'll draw the search card. And she's going to get False Alarm. If you draw a Slaughter family token, excluding Leatherface, you may return it to the bag instead of placing it on the family board. Discard after use. So we'll give that to Sally. That's going to end her turn. And then we'll move on to Kirk. Okay, Kirk is going to take his 2 moves. He'll move 1 and 2 into the generator area with Sally, and then we'll make our draws. He gets Leatherface. So Leatherface is out on the road now. Okay, Leatherface moves out into the center of the road, and he's within one of Pam and Big Ed. He can't kill them by moving onto them yet, because they don't have 3 blood splatters yet, but they'd have to flee. Okay, Kirk's got to make another draw, and this time he gets pictures. Okay, when drawn, look at the top card of the search deck, so let's do that. This time he gets bandage. When adjacent to another player, discard this card to remove 1 blood splatter from that player. That is great. We're going to move the truck too. The truck moves down 1 now. We'll give that bandage to Kirk. And if we could move that truck 1 more time, we would run over Leatherface. So I think it's worth it. Is it? Yeah, let's try it. Okay, let's make the draw. If we can get an action, we will use that to draw a card, and that's going to move the truck. Here is the draw, and it's bones. So what do you do? Oh boy, I'm going to have to think about this for 1 moment. Well, these are our choices. We could try to make the draw. If we get a Leatherface, he's going to attack Pam and Big Ed, and they'll have to flee. If we stop here, Big Ed would be up next, and he has that special move action, spend 1 action to move the truck, and that would run over Leatherface. So maybe that might be a better option. So I think we'll do that. We'll end the activation for Kirk. These tokens will go back, and then Big Ed is going to activate. All right, Big Ed technically has 2 move actions, but we're going to just leave him there, and I'm going to just trust the luck, which I don't usually have much, but we'll trust the luck that we're going to get an action, and then we can use that to use Big Ed's special move and run the Leatherface over with the truck. That'd be great. I think he goes back to the killing room. Okay, here's the draw. And he gets an action. We've got it. We're going to use Big Ed's special move, spend 1 action to move the truck. The truck moves to the top of the display, and it's going to run over good old Leatherface. Let's find out what happens to him. Okay, this is great. Leatherface is going to go back to the killing room, and we're going to remove 1 token from his display. It's great. So we'll place Leatherface back at the killing room. That is awesome. So we're supposed to discard the leftmost token on Leatherface's display. So that's good. Now when it says discard, I don't know if that means, it doesn't say put it back in the bag. It says discard. So I guess that's what we'll do. It's like a permanent damage to Leatherface maybe. Okay. And that worked out absolutely excellent with Big Ed. So we're going to end Big Ed's turn there. We'll take the token, put it in the bag, and we'll move on to Pam. Pam is also at the van, and I think we'll just leave her there, and we'll start making some draws for her. Feel a lot better with old Leatherface back in the killing room. Okay, here's the first draw for her. She gets pictures. Okay, so let's take a look at the top card of the search deck and see what we want to do with it. And this time she draws help. If a character is adjacent to another character, discard this card to transfer 1 blood splatter to the other player. Well, we'll keep it. I'll put it on top, and that's going to move the truck 1 space. So we'll move the truck down 1, and we'll keep that card for Pam, and I think we'll end her turn there. All right, next up is Sally, and we're going to try to get her to investigate those couple of tokens that are there. We'll move her 1, 2, and then she'll start making her draws. Now she has a card called False Alarm. If you draw a Slaughter family token, other than Leatherface, you can return it to the bag instead of placing it in the family board, so that's good. Okay, here is a draw for her. And she's got bones. And, well, I think we're just going to stop there. I don't see any reason on pushing it, so we'll do that. And we'll move on now to Kirk. We're looking for a gas can. Kirk's going to take his 2 actions, 1 or 2 moves. He'll move with Sally, and then he's going to make a draw. Okay, he gets bones. All right, well, I think we'll just stop there. We'll stop there, and that will be it for Kirk. And we'll move back to Big Ed. Okay, Big Ed is just going to stay where he is. And we'll have him make a draw. Here is the token. Big Ed draws an action token. So I guess we'll have him, he could move the truck, or I'll leave the truck there and we'll just leave Big Ed there with no action. And he's got an action, but we won't use it. So one thing I could do is I could use that to push Pam into the street, and then she could move to check that token and then move back. Maybe we'll do that. So I'll stop there. I'll have Big Ed do a push action on Pam, and he'll push her out into the street. That might work. That'll be it for Big Ed, and now we will activate Pam. So Pam is going to take one of her two moves, moving into the brambles, checking the token. And that's a slaughter family. We don't want that. But I'd have to replace that with a token somewhere else, and we don't know what it is. It could, right now, the gas could be in the bag because we've done a couple moves with Pam where she's changed tokens over. So I guess we'll just add that token into the draw, and then that's her first action. That'll go into the barbecue, and then her second action will be to move back so she doesn't stay in the brambles. And that's going to end her movement. Now she's going to have to make a draw. And the draw is bones. So we'll just stop there. That'll end the turn, and we'll move on to Sally. All right, Sally is going to take her two moves, and she'll move 1 and 2. And we'll have her make a draw. This time she gets an action. All right, we'll do it. I'll have her move, stop there. She'll move into this space and check the token. And it is the gas. We've got it. We've got all of the stuff that we need. All we got to do is get back to the van. That is awesome. Okay, Sally will end her turn there. We'll move on to Kirk. And Kirk is going to do some moving towards the van. All right, the fastest way to get back would be here, but I think I'm going to go the other way because the truck might be moving. So we're going to move 1, 2, and then Kirk is going to make a draw. Here's his draw. He gets an action. We'll stop there. He'll take his action to move, and that will end Kirk's round. Big Ed is up next. Okay, Big Ed is going to remain at the van, and all we got to do is get the characters back, and we're going to win, provided some other disaster happens. Here's Big Ed's draw. And he gets bones. We're going to stop there, and we'll move on now to Pam. Pam is up next. She's going to take a move, moving back into the area with the van, and then she's going to make a draw. And she draws Leatherface. Leatherface is going to move towards Sally. All right. So Sally's in a dangerous spot here. Leatherface is going to move into the dining room with Grandpa, and he's within now 1 space of Sally. So that's not good. Okay, Pam has no choice but to make another draw here. Let's see what happens. She draws an action. That is great. We're going to stop Pam right there. The tokens will be put back into the bag. And we'll move on now to Sally herself. All right, Sally's going to take her 2 moves, 1 and 2, and we'll try to get her back to the van as fast as possible. Sally is going to make a draw, and she gets an action. That is great. I'm going to do it. I'll move her into the brambles. We'll use it to move into the brambles. She's going to gain a blood splatter. That's her second. That's okay. And that will end her turn. We'll move on now to Kirk. All right, Kirk is going to take his 2 moves. We'll move him into the brambles. And then he's going to start making some draws. It'd be nice to get 2 to get him off of the brambles, but it's an action. And I think we're just going to soft pedal this. I think we might be able to win. So I'm just going to move him 1. He's at the brambles. We'll take another wound for him. That's his second. So all characters now have 2 wounds, but it gives them their move abilities at least. So that's going to end it for Kirk. All right, Big Ed is up next. He's going to remain at the van, and we'll just make a draw for him. And barring any disasters, it looks like we might be able to pull this one out. Here's his draw, and that is an action token. All right, so we will just pass on Big Ed's turn. That goes back into the bag, and now Pam is up. Okay, Pam is going to remain at the van. She has the keys and one container of gas. And she'll make her draw. And this one is an action token. That is great. We'll let her finish her turn with that. And now we'll move on to Sally. Sally has 2 moves. Now the problem is that truck is going to be moving. So I think I'm going to have Sally move around the back of that. So she's going to move 1, 2 into the brambles. Sally currently has 2 damage out of the 3, so we'd like to get her in action if we can. Here is the draw for Sally, and that's a Leatherface. So Leatherface is going to go through the broken window out into the front yard. Okay. Sally has to take another draw now, and she draws Bones. Well, I'm going to keep going. We've got to get an action here somewhere. And she's got it. She's got the action. So we're going to have Sally use that to move out into the street. And that will finish her activation. And then she is going to pass to Kirk. Kirk will make his moves. He doesn't have any gas or keys, so he's just going to move 1 and 2 back to the van. And then he will make his draws. All we got to do now is get Sally at the van, and we're going to win. Here's his draw. Leatherface. Okay. Leatherface is going to move 1, 2 towards Sally. He has to make another draw now. And he gets Bones. We'll end it there. That'll be it for Kirk. And we'll move on now to Big Ed. Big Ed is at the truck. He has a can of gas. And he's going to stay there and make a draw. Here's his draw. It's Bones. That is great. He'll stop. We'll move on to Pam. Pam is up next. She will stay at the van with her keys and gas and make a draw. And she gets an action. That's great. We'll end her turn. And now we're going to move on to Sally. Sally will move to the van. We have gas, keys, gas, and where's our other gas can? Here, Sally. 3 gas and the keys, and everybody gets in the van and drives away, leaving Leatherface in their dust, and we've won the game. Outstanding. As is the tradition at the Solo Gamers Club, I'm going to award myself a trophy for the victory. So that's going to wrap this video up, and I have to say I do enjoy the new slaughter mode rules for the game. It makes it much more challenging, and I think that that's a good addition to the game. Now, as far as I understand, there has been a second edition of the rules, and they've added even another, I can't remember the name of it, I only read it quickly, but they added another mode to it that makes it even more difficult than the slaughter mode, and it adjusts the starting tokens in the bag and different things on how some of the characters move in that. But I think the game is much better in this condition. I like the chit pull aspects of it. It's exciting to see what you pull, and kind of the sequence of when those are added to the bag really changes the game. If you pull a lot of Leatherface tokens early, you're going to be in trouble because he's going to be moving, and you don't want to get run over by Leatherface early and start taking these wounds. When you take 3 wounds, you lose your free moves at the beginning of the turn, and that just cripples you. So, but anyway, I enjoyed the game, and I'm happy I've got a victory, and that is excellent. So this is Keith from the Solo Gamers Club, signing off and wishing everyone a pleasant evening. Have a good night.